Hey, Mike Edwards here. So, trying something new today. This live stream is actually going out on Facebook in the Leading for Change Facebook group, and my LinkedIn profile, and also over on my YouTube channel. So, multi-streaming here, new technology. We'll see how that works. So, here's what I want to talk about today. I've been doing a lot of reading recently, and I know you got to take so many things with a grain of salt these days. But there's this really prolific thing, and a professor at, oh wow, I wish I knew his name top of mind and which university, coined a phrase, the great resignation, that it's upon us, that surveys are showing anywhere from 25 to 40% of the workforce, people in jobs today, are looking to change jobs, to quit, to go do something different. Now, that might mean a total career change. That might mean just finding a different place is similar, like whatever it is. Upwards of 40%, almost half of the workers out there are looking to change jobs. So now think about that, right? If you're on a team of 10 people, look around, so to say, for those of us still in the virtual world. Look around. It's saying 4 of those people are looking to go somewhere else. And what if they're your best people? So what can you do about it? And what if you are one of those people? Well, let's first talk about why this is happening. From what I've been reading, there's multiple reasons to it. One is there's some pent-up demand. I mean, there's always a natural attrition that happens where people are looking to change jobs, moving on to something else. And that natural attrition apparently got held back during the pandemic because of the level of uncertainty that existed. And so people kind of held their cards close, so to say, and they didn't quit. They held on. There's other things, though, right? Like as we're looking at going back, there's a lot of talk about the hybrid workplace or the hybrid team, whatever. Hybrid seems to be the catchphrase everybody's putting on it. And as much as it feels like a buzzword, it actually makes sense to me, because the word hybrid means it's not what it was. It's changing to something else. And we're going to find new ways to adapt and new ways to make it work. And so the whole idea of the hybrid thing makes sense. Then I read other articles where there's some corporate leaders who are apparently gaslighting their people to make them believe coming back to work's the greatest thing and you should be here, and whatever exactly they're saying. Yeah, that's not overly helpful, because when it comes to trying to attract people back, when it comes to finding a path forward, the only way that's going to work is if we're open, honest, and vulnerable with each other. We're going to try to gaslight, if we're going to try to set our own agenda, whoever we are, whether it's the employee or the leader, like whatever, it's not going to go well, right? And so when they talk about the great resignation, that's going to feed it as well, right? The level of uncertainty. People have discovered working from home works. Not in all cases. There's some jobs you need to be there, but they've discovered working at home works. And so they're going, I don't want to go back to the office 5 days a week. I don't want to commute. And so we need to start getting more innovative. Companies need to start getting more innovative in how to handle this, right? How do you attract people? How do you retain people? How do you find that right balance between return to the office and work from home, right? Like there's a whole bunch of things in there, and the ways we used to do it ain't gonna cut it going forward. So how do you handle it from like a team member point of view? 40% of them are looking to leave. And if you're one of them, start to think about what's important to you. What are you looking for? What's the quality of life? What's the lifestyle? What's the, whatever it is, that's going to help you move forward and feel fulfilled. You might have moved away. I know numerous people who have done that. They've moved further from where the office was, where they used to work. And the idea of commuting has just become a bigger proposition. And if you're one of those people, what's the balance in there? For companies, for leaders, the simple reality you're facing is we've become global. We've become distributed. We don't have to always be in the same room together. And what that means is you're competing at a different level for the people, for the talent, right? For the best people that would help you move forward. So, the question you have is, what do you want? Right? Stuart, welcome. And you're right, the downside to being remote is 9 to 10 hours of video calling. And how can you design to allow that to be more manageable, more sustainable, more appealing to people, not being on 9 to 10 hours. But how do you do it with less? Yeah, so needs a balance where chief HR officer has decided to take days of no video calling. To an extent, I agree with that, right? But it's what does the team want? It's not about what I want or what the HR officer wants, right? But what does the team want when it comes to video calling? What allows them to do the work and not feel burnt out? Because Stuart, I totally agree with you. 8, 9, 10 hours of video calling is insane, right? I feel exhausted. I do workshops, and I've cut it down to about 3-4 hours maximum in a stretch. Wow, that's pretty extreme, Stuart. She switched off your WebEx, right? That could be her form of commitment, right? But it's finding that balance. So, Stuart, thanks for being here. Would love to chat more about that. So, regardless of which side of this you're on, whether you're one of those frontline people or you're one of the leaders like Stuart's chief HR officer, right? Like, you got to find that balance. You got to work together to find that answer for the future. Otherwise, the reality is 25 to 40% of the people are going to leave. I believe that. I think that will do. That will happen. So, a couple things for you. Like, this is the kind of thing I'm out there doing. So if you're one of those frontline people and you're trying to make a decision, reach out to me. Let's talk. Let's go to my website, leadingforchange.ca. Let's do an intro coaching session. Let's talk. No cost, no obligation. Let's help you work through some of those things you're wrestling with. Whether you want to leave or stay, right? You got to find your right answer. If you're one of those leaders, let's talk. Because you have to look after the people. You look after the people, they're going to look after you. They're what's going to help you to move forward. So dictating, here's how it's going to be. You are going to come back to the office. You're whatever it is. You're going to lose your 25 to 40%. So reach out to me, leadingforchange.ca. This whole idea of 25 to 40% of the workforce resigning, the great resignation, I love that label, by the way. Whether or not it's true, I think it's a great label. 25 to 40% of the workforce moving on is mind-boggling. Right? Back in the day when I was a manager, I had people reporting to me, so on and so forth. I knew people were going to quit. I knew there was going to be turnover. But if I lost 40% of my team, wow, So let's talk. You, the leaders, you, let's find a way to work through this. It might happen anyway, but together we'll get through this. Have yourself a great week. Thank you for watching this live stream. My first one that went out to 3 different platforms at once. I'm going to be going out to those platforms. Apparently, thanks to Stuart, who's coming to me through LinkedIn. Thanks to Stuart, I know at least it's going out to LinkedIn. And I'm going out to check the rest of them and see where it is. Have yourself a great week. Enjoy whatever's happening in your life right now. Take care.